come back.
The New Orleans Pelicans fall to the Brooklyn Nets 108-102. I'm Cheddar Chaz. That's 5. And that's It's the Knife, a.k.a. Lito. Let's talk about it.
First took away. That's the best. Get your money's worth.
This podcast is sponsored by the Birds Law Firm, the official injury lawyers of Boot Crew Media, located at 918 Portrait Street by the Superdome. Give them a call at 504-523-5413 if you or someone you know has been involved in an accident, and be sure to mention we sent you. Birds Law Firm, the official injury lawyers of Boot Crew Media. What's up, fellas? Tough loss. Kevin Durant and Kyrie's also a very, very dangerous man. It was a valiant effort tonight. Lito, I'm gonna start with you. What did you like that you saw tonight from the guys, from like collectively, before we get into individual performances?
I feel like at certain points the defense was swarming, and I feel like more so in the first half, like it was a lot of swarming. I like how I wish there is no defense for KD, right? There is no defense for Kyrie. So that I'm not even trying to harp on that. I do wish we would have maybe started sending a double a little bit quicker just to make it difficult, get it out of his hands, maybe make a Joe Harris beat you type deal, or a even though my man's I can't think of his name, who
Wanabe
Warren, TJ Warren. I'm sorry, TJ Warren.
TJ, yeah,
I'm thinking about
TJ.
TJ, he missed a lot of time, but like he hit some big shots tonight. I do think that, like, all in all, we shared the ball really well. Like, I think, we played together. Who was missing, and I think CJ, he was 10 for 24, but he kept us in the game. He was the quote unquote star for the team tonight. I really like how Naji played. I don't want to take all the time up because I know you asked me as a team, but yeah, that's what I like.
5. Same question. How do you feel about the collective effort?
I mean, this is one of those games where you need a star, right? They had theirs. We kind of didn't have ours, right? You saw a game where Kyrie wasn't really effective the entire game, but hit a 30-footer bomb on you, right? So I mean, it's a game of stars, right? It's like this is one of them games at the rec. You got your squad, they got their squad, y'all going at it. It's 11-11, right? It was a close game in the fourth quarter. Who gonna get the ball when it really matters, right? I think the team played really like this is one of those games where the team can really learn from, right? Because this is going to happen just like this. You're going to be in a really close game with a team that's really good as well. And can you execute at the end of games? And, we just didn't, and the team lost. But I liked the effort, right? KD got 30, but it was a really quiet 30. I mean,
he worked for that 30.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then we didn't the team didn't play dumb, right? The team didn't play dumb defense where it was a lot of and ones or it was this or that. Like, they play without their hands, right? Herb got that early first call, but after that, it wasn't really any cheap fouls, right? Maybe the one on JB when he dove for the ball, but other than that, it wasn't, that. It wasn't just like, okay, the refs screwed us over. Maybe they weren't like really efficient when it came to balance calls, but it wasn't like they just screwed us over. Fouls were fouls. We just didn't get those same calls in the other end.
And also, when you get fouls, man, you got to go to the line and make your free throws, bro. It's been an ongoing issue since last season, and it's really Justin's fault because Justin he rewarded CJ too early. He said, "Oh, CJ's out of the woods. He's knocking down his free throws, and look what happens tonight." But again, CJ carried. He really put the team on his back tonight. Him, Naji, with an incredible effort. What do you guys think about Naji's performance tonight? Like this season, the guy has just been incredible. What do you think about his performance tonight? I'm gonna start with you, Lito, and pass it to 5.
I think Naji stepped up like when you need him most. Like 5 said, this is a game of superstars, and the team that won is because the guys who get the max money on the other team, they stepped up in the final moments when you needed them to. And we didn't have those guys for us tonight. However, Naji Marshall played incredibly well. He was aggressive. He was efficient. He hit some timely 3-pointers. I feel like he played great defense. He had an attitude. He set the tone. Naji's a guy where sometimes his value doesn't show up in the stat sheet. It's just it's just a coincidence tonight. It did, right? You see 23-9, like that jumps off the page at you, and you also see he got to the free throw line 10 times. He hit 8 of them. So you know what I'm saying, you're shooting 80% from the free throw line. Like Naji's a guy. I feel like there's certain players when the moment is too big, they shy away, especially when you're looking at a team with KD and Kyrie. Naji Marshall is a guy, like, he doesn't really care about that. Like, I'm going to attack. It could be God over there. Naji go tell the Lord and Savior, lace him up. You know what I'm saying? You about to get this work.
Naji the cat in the hood that got everything. Like, he can sell you anything. He got, you need bootleg DVDs? Oh, I got that. I got you. I can
need break tag. I got you.
I got you. You know what I'm saying? You need a hookup. All right, cool. Your truck stopped working? Cool. I can fix that. Like, he can do anything. You know what I'm saying? If it's rebounding, he can rebound. If it's passing, he can pass. He's Boobie Miles. He's Boobie Miles in a sense. And I probably been the leader of the Naji Hive. I think he's made the biggest jump from last year to this year and been probably the most consistent player on the team, no matter what the role is. He's played the exact same way.
I 100% agree.
He was off the bench. He started. He went back off the bench. He got hurt, came right back, did the exact same thing, and nothing changed. The mentality was still the same. No matter who the opponent is or where the opponent is or where they're playing, it's still the same.
I'm going to say this. I see a lot of people harping on Herb's performance tonight. And truthfully, when you're tasked with guarding the best scorer in the NBA, the best scorer potentially in the history of the NBA, and you make him work for his points, you deserve to be, rewarded with a not so incredible offensive night. Like, come on, man. Like, Five, go ahead. What you got to say?
Can I get on my soapbox for a second?
Go ahead.
Kevin Durant, great.
The Kevin Durant who we didn't need. Go ahead.
Kevin Durant right now is probably having one of his best season in year 13 for him. I believe it's,
and that's crazy.
And that's crazy, right?
MVP,
right. Like, the team this is not the same Brooklyn Nets we saw the first game. This is not the same Kevin Durant. He's probably been really consistent this year himself, but now the team's picking up, right? Now they got a new attitude. But Kevin Durant is, his name. You know who that is. Like, if you hear him talk, if you hear him talk about basketball, it's probably like one of the most poetic things I've ever heard any other basketball player talk about. It's almost as if it's as important as breathing to him.
He shows it.
Yeah, and he shows it. Like, he knows, like, how much basketball means to him. Like, it is. He don't have a wife. He don't have kids. He got Spalding. That's what he got. Well, Wilson now, but he got a basketball. Like, that's all he care about. So when you're Herb Jones and your task is guarding KD, and you have a subpar offensive night, bro, you gotta guard KD. What are we talking about? Like, Herb scoring points is always a plus, but it's nothing you count on. You don't count on Herb Jones being an efficient offensive threat. No.
And Kevin Durant is not some 7-foot, like, stretch forward, no skill having guy like some of the guys in the league. Kevin Durant is a very skilled, smart, crafty, efficient, just incredible player.
He's shooting 60% from twos. Also, Paulo Banchero talked about his welcome to the NBA moment. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he had to guard KD. KD had like 50. I think KD made 5 free throws. He had 50 on. And Paulo said that was Paulo 6'10". Yeah. He's 6'10". He said
Paulo ain't no scrub.
And athletic as hell. Yeah.
Yeah, he ain't no scrub by far.
He said he couldn't do nothing with him.
KD leads the NBA in his hot zone is literally every spot inside of the perimeter. Like, that's crazy. His every spot is his hot zone. If people are complaining about Herb Jones' production tonight, like, I really don't know what to tell you. Like, he's probably, however you want. For me, it's probably 1A, 1B. Giannis, KD. Like, as far as like best in the world, I don't know. Depends on the day who I feel like is better. but that's a toss up. I feel like if you take anything away from this game from Herb, I think you look at him making. He wasn't always the primary defender, but like KD was 9 for 26. And that's not a typical Kevin Durant game. I think the other day he went 10 for 14 and he had like 43. So if anything, I would say this was not a good game from KD. And Herb drew that assignment.
His last game against Herb wasn't a good game neither.
Exactly. And I think the game before, it was a game before that too.
Like Herb guards KD as well as anyone in the league probably can guard him.
And he gonna get 30 regardless. It don't matter who that.
Yeah,
he gonna get 30.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But when you look at the box, I'm sorry, Five.
No. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say when you look at the box score though, he's 9 for 26. You know, he did shoot, I think 10 or 11 free throws. Like you just got to tip your hat to Herb, man. He made him work. He did what he could do. Like he just is the guy where you got to get the ball out of his hands.
And I'm gonna say this, and see, this is where the show kind of takes a turn. This is why I make a bit of a cameo. I think you gotta understand that Herb is a second round player, right? Herb could have very well been an undrafted guy, right? Naji Marshall, undrafted guy. Jose Alvarado, I believe, was he undrafted? Undrafted guy?
Yeah.
Undrafted guy. The problem is you have first round prospects who aren't living up to their draft position, right? That's the problem. You have your own supposed version of, you have your own 6'10", 6'11" guy who's supposed to be, an offensive savant from behind the arc. And, you see highlights of him working in the offseason. But, to and I'm speaking about Trey Murphy. To Trey's credit, I will say this. I'm going to lead with love because that's what I do. I'm going to lead with love. He is the 15th best defender on this team. So he does have that going for him, right? 15th best defender on this roster. Has that going for him, right? Offensively, when you can't create your own shot, you need to be incredible anytime someone else sets the table for you. You just need to let them fly and live with the result. He wasn't that great tonight. 5 shots. I think his last 2 shots probably came in the fourth quarter. Had that big putback for a 3-point play. Dyson's been virtually unplayable the last couple of nights. I can't worry about Herb Jones. Herb Jones is doing what I anticipate Herb Jones to do. The other guys aren't doing what I expect from them. And you guys can chime in on that one.
It was a couple plays tonight where I'm gonna just say this. There's a couple plays tonight where for whatever reason KD was left open. The rotation went away from Kevin. And I'm not saying this is necessarily Trey. I'm saying in general, I don't understand why you would. It don't matter who the hell is on the other side. You don't leave KD. In the case of Trey, I'm gonna just say what I've been saying. 5 shots is not gonna cut it. 5 shots, especially when you the problem for me is though, if Zion is out, if BI is out, I would expect Trey to be ultra aggressive. I would expect for him to be hunting shots, and I would expect for him to, like you basically got a green light to let it fly. You can let it fly. That shouldn't be an issue. When you're the best shooter on the team and you only attempt 2 3-pointers, like that's when you have a problem, because now like the lineup is already it's already not, our regular lineup. Nothing is offset. Everything is off balance. But if Trey puts up a volume number of threes, it would set everything back in balance, because then you can't just guard CJ. Right, you can't double CJ. You can't make life difficult for CJ. You see, Jonas only had 11 shots tonight. Yeah, but he only took 11 shots.
Mm-hmm.
So you looking at that and you just kind of like, I want Trey. I want Trey to look up. I don't care if Zion or BI playing. I want Trey to just shoot the ball, bro, and I want him to have. He only had I think 1 rebound
in the fourth.
Like that. That's unacceptable, man. You got all that athleticism. Like I need you to get rebounds.
Ready? Okay. Listen,
Sorry.
it's no, that's cool. No, like this is my issue. I don't care about the shots. I really don't, because whatever you shoot, you're gonna shoot. Like because even if you shoot enough, you're gonna have up and down moments, right? You're gonna be really good and you're gonna be really bad. Like that's kind of what it is, and I think he probably knows that. But what has to be consistent is defensive effort and rebounding. Like you can't claim to be 6'10" and not want to rebound and not want to take charges or not want to, be physical with the other team. Like we all probably had hopes that he probably could be a small ball 5 for us.
Yeah,
I certainly did.
early in the season.
You know what I'm saying? Like early in the season, like imagine the lineup with Herb, Zion, CJ, Brandon, insert Herb and Trey, and be able to switch and move and guard other, small lineups. Offensively, you probably and I've said this before, and I've asked in press conferences about backside screening, right? Like to get people open, because it can't just be all right. We're going to screen the ball like when the other people. Like, no, you got to screen off the ball. So a flare screen, a down screen, just for Trey to try to get open, because he isn't. He has to be more mobile, right? Because if the shooter is moving, the defense is moving, right? The defense is shifting. So, and that creates other lanes for other people. The stagnation of him just sitting there, like, bro, you can't just sit around and wait for them to guard you. They know where you are.
Is that a
Yep, I know what
an
you about to say.
indictment on the guard play or coaching or the player himself to figuring out where his spots is?
I think that's on the player. I'm sorry, Five.
No, it's an incumbent. I'd say it's a incumbent of everybody, right? It's not just singular for Trey, right? If he don't know, he don't know, right? Hey, cool. All right, now tell them and actually make this an emphasis.
It's the same one.
Like we like to compare this team to the offense, right? To Golden State. If you ever watch them play, they never stop moving.
I'd be tired watching them.
And it doesn't matter who's on the court. It doesn't matter who's on the court. It doesn't matter if Jordan Poole's steps out and Jordan Poole, like if he's off the court. Even Ty Jerome and all them, like they do it. Because you can't guard somebody. It's easy to guard somebody when they're just sitting there. Yeah. It's easy. I know where you are. Like, I'm not really worried about you. You're not cutting behind me. You're right there. So
can I add something to that too? And I told Five, I do totally agree with you. I said player, but I do think it's a combination of both. But my only thing, the reason why I said player is because you've been playing basketball your whole life, so you should know, right? As far as like moving without the ball, like and again, this is not necessarily Trey. I'm speaking in general, but I'm saying like if you haven't been the best player on your team, you had to move around with other players, right? Other players have had to move around. You don't necessarily get the ball, so it's like, like I feel like you should just understand how to do these things. Like, what are we working on? I understand, you're working on specific things in the off season, but like, you know what I'm saying?
When the last time you seen this team flare screen when it wasn't a play, like a set screen, like, oh, Trey's in the corner, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna hit his man, boom, so the ball can get skipped over me for a shot in the corner. Like I haven't seen that when it wasn't a play. Like they run this other play where Devontae or anybody will come off a screen, it's a double and it's a 3. Like that's always a constant. But there's not just basketball movement, right? Not if the coach has to tell you to do it. That's only good for those times, but you got to know when to do things. If you watch Golden State, right? Again, I keep comparing them because they said that the offense is similar. Draymond don't look at Steve Kerr and be like, "Hey, I'm about to screen for Clay." Like, nah, it's a dribble handoff. Boom, I'm gonna stop right here. Now you shoot that. Like I don't know.
I'm gonna kind of put you on the spot, but I'm gonna ask afterwards. Let me ask y'all this: do you think at this point in his career, Trey has enough skill, like tangible skill on the floor, handling, defense, basketball IQ, rebound anticipation, boxing out? Do you think he has enough skill to be consistently effective if he's not shooting threes, shooting and making threes?
You can go, Lito. You can go first if you want.
Say the question one more time.
Do you think Trey do you think all right, do you think Trey has enough like tangible basketball skill? Like, can he pump fake, dribble, or get in the post, up fake, finish, do up and under? Like can he set screens? Can he rebound? Can he defend? Can he help on the weak side? Does he do enough to be consistently on the floor when he's not shooting threes or scoring? Like, if he's not scoring, does he do anything else, in your opinion?
Okay. Well, let me answer the first question. Do I think he have enough skill? I think the skill is there.
Right.
Now, do I think he's consistent or his motor is consistent enough to do that on a night-to-night basis? I think that's the question we kind of asking ourselves tonight.
That's a good point.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I do think he has shown that he can be a hell of a rebounder. Now, night in and night out, why you don't do that, especially with your length and athleticism, I don't know. Night in, night out, if Brandon and whoever else isn't there, why aren't you? I wouldn't mind him shot hunting, bro. Like, if he shot 20 shots tonight, even if he was off, he missed the first 12, I wouldn't care.
You're supposed to go crazy. You're going against Kevin Durant. You're supposed to go crazy tonight. You're supposed to go crazy.
Yes, but to answer your question, like, does his does his scoring? If he's not scoring,
can he be effective?
I haven't seen it yet.
5.
Well, I just sent you a video, Chaz, and we probably can't get it uploaded quick enough. But so this video is Mike Brown. I don't know if you
would you like me to play the audio, or you go?
Yeah,
do the lead in.
All right. So this video is Mike Brown speaking about what's the kid they just drafted, the shooter?
Keegan. Is it Keegan Murray?
Keegan Murray. Right. He's speaking about Keegan Murray.
That boy good.
Right. Pretty much similar to Trey, right? Shooter, right?
Yeah.
And Mike Brown's in an interview. He's saying he had a conversation with Keegan about how he can be effective, or like how does Keegan see himself on the court when he's not shooting the ball well? Chaz, you can play it if you like.
Okay, I'll play it now.
Knew about it. I walked up to him and I said, Keegan, if somebody asked me if Keegan Murray's shot's not going in, what's he gonna bring to the table? And Keegan looked at me. He thought it was a trick question. I said, "This is not a trick question. This is just it." He said, "Well, I spaced the floor." I said, "Yeah, you spaced the floor." I said, "But you know what? I'm 52. I'm fat. I'm out of shape. And if I knock down a couple shots, I can space the floor." I said, "So what else can you tell me?" He goes, "Not sure." That's okay. All right, I'm glad you said that. I want you to be able to answer that question for me. So if somebody asks me about your shot not falling, because he's a very good shooter, especially for a young guy. He moves fairly well without the ball. But at his size, I'm going to press him to be a lockdown defender. I'm going to press him to be a better rebounder. And I'm going to press him to be a better multiple effort guy. Time will come for him to be able to make plays for others. I'm not too worried about that.
Am I talking about somebody else? Like, this is the exact same thing. It
sounds like he's calling them up and not calling them up.
Hey,
go ahead, fellas.
No, I'm just saying, like, that is it, right? How can you get somebody to be better with their gifts that they have? You can't just be a high flying like the rebound, the and one tonight. He jumped up, grabbed the ball, rebound, and finished it and one. You have to take that same tenacity for an offensive board and take that to the defensive end. It's not going to be all runouts. It's not going to be all dunks and good. To get on the fast break, you got to get the rebound first. And if I'm him, like, bro, if he became a 10 rebound a game because he plays a lot of minutes,
Right.
He plays a lot of
Plays
minutes.
a lot of minutes.
He should be able to accumulate 10 rebounds.
A lot of minutes. Yo,
So,
yeah,
go ahead, Chaz.
I'm gonna say this. I think that video, in my opinion, it explains a lot, and it explains a question I didn't even bring up. It's just like, yo, all I'm gonna say is, I think Mike Brown's a good coach.
Yeah.
And I think when you ask some coaches questions, like for example, why you still playing Gary Temple, and they hit you with a, I don't know. I think that's an indictment on, this is just my personal opinion. I think that's an indictment on some of the staff, and I'm going to keep saying it. I've said it time and time again. I'm not sure. Now I do believe the player has to have that desire to be great, but I will say again, I'm not sure if this staff has the bandwidth or the know-how to develop like high-end talent players. I think guys who kind of come in with their own bag, guys who take it upon themselves to add to their game over the years and years and years, upperclassmen type guys, I think they do a lot better with that because boy, look, if this was my show, I would say we 0 for 4 in the first round. That's what I'm gonna say. I don't count Zion. I'm gonna just say it. I don't count Zion. We 0 for no. Kyra, Jax, no, Trey. Yeah, we 0 for. Trade all them first round picks. Just trade the first round picks, bro. Trade the first round picks. You don't know what to do with them, bro. Just trade the picks, bro. Go get some dudes who are ready now to play. We don't have time for this no more, bro. Like, just trade the picks, bro.
It's not. Go ahead, Lito.
No. I can wait.
It's not like they're not getting better, right? It's the action of, are they getting better for the growth of the team, right? In the
Right.
same, for the same goal, right? Like, are we better defensively? And I get it. The ratings are telling you that you're a good defensive team, but I saw points tonight where you couldn't get a stop when you needed it, or control the rebound when you needed it. Back tip, boom. Kyrie hits a three, right? Because of an offensive board. Those hurt. Nick Claxton ended up with 5 blocks. Understanding that, he's a shot blocker. How do we attack this instead of just going in there all willy-nilly, like without a plan? But that takes understanding as a collective group to do that. Because it wasn't just like, oh, he just blocked Naji shot or just CJ shot. No, he blocked everybody's shot essentially on the same kind of drive. So yeah.
Go ahead, Lito.
I was just gonna say, just to kind of piggyback off what Five said about what Mike Brown's spiel about Keegan. I think it's all. I really do think it's some things like you should take personal as far as like somebody scoring on you or like, beating you down a court or, whatever. I think especially when teams run multiple actions and include you in them, I think that, you should start taking those things personally. I think if you look at Zion, that's something that Zion did early in the season. Like, teams were picking on him. They were making him, he had to stand on that. And I think he started understanding and accepted the challenge. And, I think that's what everybody on this team has to do, especially with the superstars out, like, right? Accept the challenge and, like, take it personal.
Yeah. I mean, we're not talking about these people as people. We're just talking about these people as
the game.
We're talking about basketball. We don't know personally.
Yeah, I don't even know. Yeah, and I don't personally want to know you personally. I just cover basketball. Yeah. But my thing is also, I said 0 for 5, I meant 0 for 5. Bro, you're a first round pick, bro. First round pick. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. Like, Dyson, you picked 8, bro. Like, you were a professional last year. That you were heralded as a professional. You've hit a rookie wall a quarter into the season, virtually. Like, it's like, come on, bro. When you're not doing, look, Dyson had a one-on-one fast break with Kevin Durant. One-on-one. Didn't even think about laying the ball. He's oh, hell no. I'm like, what are you doing, bro?
Yeah, he ain't
what are
you
doing? What you doing? Like, but In closing, how do you guys feel about going into tomorrow? Would you give the guys a rest like some of the older guys, or would you go for the win? No, Larry's pretty banged up right now.
It was a tough game for Larry. It was, his first game back. You know what I'm saying? Like he did some things that were really good that Larry does, but I wasn't expecting him to knock down every three he put up. I mean, want to hit the side of the backboard. Who really? I'm not tripping on Larry. Like it's Larry Nance in the corner. Like it's not like he been playing and he did like he's made that three before. So I'm not tripping on that. If he gets a day of rest after this, cool. That doesn't bother me. It's the second game of a back-to-back. I kind of expected, and he had an Achilles injury, right? Achilles strain. So you don't want to just
Achilles, shoulder, neck. You got to think long term.
Yeah.
With some of these guys. But Lito had to run, man. Pels fall to the Brooklyn Nets. Still valiant effort. 5 got the beanies on deck. You know what I'm saying? So be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Shout out to DraftKings. Shout out to New York Life, man. Tell us what you guys think in the comments. How can the team kind of right the ship while the superstars are out?
Yeah.
Of course, it's nothing to panic over, but we do need to see some improvements. And we out.
Peace.